Hello. Some police areas are finding that police officers are committing more sackable offences. I've been looking around some misconduct hearings throughout the UK. There's an awful lot of them. I feel sorry for the senior officers having to deal with these because they're quite in-depth, lengthy processes that go into detail. And I've noted that in the last month or so, there are increasing numbers of PCs getting into trouble over misconduct towards other people in personal relationships or not. But it's not necessarily related to police conduct in itself, but there's an expectation that police officers should behave well even outside work. And I'm going to let you know I've got about 5 cases that have come up this last month that have quite worrying behaviours in personal relationships, mostly against females, and there've been sort of quite nasty behaviour going on. So on the 30th of Jan, the Met Police dismissed an officer called PC Ian Williams for sexual assaults on a female victim who he knew, and there was quite a number of these, and he was dismissed for discreditable conduct. On the 3rd of February, it was announced that Officer X, and I quite approve of the names not being given in certain cases, was in relationship with a male who's called A, and he was dismissed without notice because of quite disturbing behaviour over quite a period towards this male person. And there was a whole catalogue of these, but he spoke to A in a racial and derogatory manner. On one occasion, he prevented A leaving and took his clothes off and kept him in bed overnight when he wanted to leave. He handcuffed A on quite a number of times and initiated sex with A by twisting his arm. Quite worrying, this case in the Met, and he was dismissed without notice. Very worrying behaviour. Another case in the Met, 19th, 20th Jan, it was reported that PC Jack Reed continued to contact his ex-partner, who was a colleague in the police, a WPCX, after being told not to do so on quite a number of occasions. And she spoke to a superior officer, sergeant, who spoke to him and asked him not to, but he continued. And when asked again by the sergeants, he lied. He said, "Oh no, I'm not." But they were she kept on and on contacting her and made manipulating sort of threats like he was going to harm himself and things like that. In Hertfordshire, a former officer called D resigned. He was stated to be neurodivergent, and there were 30 allegations made against him of quite nasty remarks made to female colleagues and in the force, and continuously discriminating remarks against women and inappropriate sexual comments and quite horrible behaviour, really. He changed one female colleague's email address to Ms. A, the fainter. He was exceptionally aggressive with another colleague in the car, threw keys at her and things like that. Finally, 2 cases from Bristol. PC Jack Wood met a woman on social media, and she rejected his advances, spun lies about the relationship with her. and kept sending her messages and so on. And finally, a very worrying case, Bristol PC uh, had an exchange, a contact, never met her, but met her on social media and had 1,100 sexually explicit messages to this married woman. And, for example, and made worrying misogynistic comments, stating that he wanted to choke and beat her with his baton during sex. I mean, who are these men, And generally, are men like this in British society? Or surely we should be moving on and growing up more appropriately, and we don't really expect people like this to be in the police, do we? Anyway, all the very best now. Bye bye.